Hello to all. The topic that I am discussing next is von Willebrand disease. This topic is important for theory examination. Many a times note comes on this disease, and also it's very important for the problem-based questions asked in the entrance exams. So let's start. Von Willebrand disease. It is a disease which is caused by the deficiency or abnormality of von Willebrand factor. Either there is quantitative defect, which is most common, and there can be qualitative defect also in this von Willebrand factor. It is a autosomal dominant disorders. Most of the forms of this disease, they are autosomal dominant, and male and female, they have got equal preponderance. Most common, it is a most common inherited bleeding disorder which affects about 1% of the population. The gene for von Willebrand factor, it is present on the locus 12p. Then it is synthesized in endothelial cells and stored in the Weibel palate bodies, and also synthesized in the megakaryocytes. Now this is important, many times asked in the MCQs. And von Willebrand factor, it is a content of the alpha granules of the platelet. Again, this can be asked in the MCQs. So it is released from the endothelial cells under the stimuli of thrombin or histamine or certain complement factors, and from the platelets it is released again by the stimulus from thrombin or ADP or collagen. So these are the release stimuli for von Willebrand factor. Now next we come to the function of this von Willebrand factor. To know about the function of von Willebrand factor, it is very important, because then only you will be able to understand about the von Willebrand disease. So von Willebrand factor, its function, there are two functions of von Willebrand factor. So first function is platelet adhesion. So this von Willebrand factor synthesized in the endothelium and megakaryocytes. So it is present in the subendothelial collagen. So here it is present. So this is von Willebrand factor, which is present in the form of multimers. So monomers of von Willebrand factor, they combine to form the multimers. So here the multimers of von Willebrand factor, they bind to the platelets by way of the glycoprotein 1b receptors. So this helps in the platelet adhesion. So when it occurs when there is a vascular endothelial injury. So the platelets, they bind to the exposed collagen through this interaction between von Willebrand factor and the glycoprotein 1b. So this is a very important factor for the platelet adhesion. And secondly, the second function is that it acts as a carrier protein for the factor 8, which is circulating in the blood. So this von Willebrand factor, it protects the factor 8 from proteolytic degradation, and it increases the half-life of factor 8. So this is the second very important factor function of von Willebrand factor. It increases the half-life from about 2.4 hours to 12 hours for the factor 8, and also it helps in localizing the factor 8 to the site of injury. So these are the two very important functions of von Willebrand factor. So whenever this von Willebrand factor is deficient or defective, then it will cause two problems. First, it will cause defective platelet adhesion, so it will cause a defect in primary hemostasis, and secondly, since factor 8 takes part in the coagulation cascade, so again it will cause the defective coagulation or secondary hemostasis. So it has a role to play in both the primary hemostasis and secondary hemostasis. This image is from Robbins. So there are three types of von Willebrand disease. The most common is type 1. It is autosomal dominant in inheritance. It is a quantitative defect of von Willebrand factor with mild bleeding symptoms. So sometimes difficult to diagnose also. And it is the commonest form. This you should remember, type 1. The second one is type 2, which is a qualitative defect of von Willebrand factor. So there are certain defects in the von Willebrand factor. There are variants like 2A, 2B, 2M, 2N. So like qualitative defects can be seen like in 2B, there is increased affinity between the von Willebrand factor and the glycoprotein 1b, so that causes increased clearance of platelets and thrombocytopenia. In variants like 2m, so there is decreased platelet dependent adhesion, and in 2n, the 2n variant is also known as autosomal hemophilia because it has got autosomal recessive inheritance, and in this the von Willebrand factor has got decreased affinity for factor 8. So the symptoms will be like that of hemophilia, and it is known as autosomal hemophilia because the problem is that there will be decreased factor 8, and it is autosomal in inheritance, so it is known as autosomal hemophilia. So it can be asked in MCQ. Then there is third type, type 3, in which there is total deficiency or near total deficiency of von Willebrand factor, and thankfully it is less common, so only 5% of the cases are type 3. Again, it is called autosomal recessive inheritance. So we see that most of the forms they have autosomal dominant inheritance except for two. One is 2n and second is type 3. Now we come to the lab findings. So there is defect in both the primary hemostasis as well as the secondary hemostasis. So we will find the lab investigation relevant to both of them. So first of all, bleeding time will be prolonged because there is defect in the platelet adhesion, so bleeding time will be prolonged, and normal bleeding time is 2 to 9 minutes. Secondly, platelet count, it will be normal. Hess capillary test is positive. So Hess capillary test is positive in condition of platelet defect as well as in the conditions of increased vascular fragility. Then there is defective ristocetin induced platelet aggregation. So ristocetin is a antibiotic which causes the platelet agglutination, and it facilitates the binding of von Willebrand factor to GP1b on the platelet. So it helps in the increased adhesion between von Willebrand factor and glycoprotein 1b, and in this way it causes increased platelet aggregation. So these are ristocetin RIPA is a part of platelet aggregation studies. So abnormal RIPA will be seen in two conditions: when there is defective von Willebrand factor or defective GP1b. So only two conditions are there. One is deficiency of von Willebrand factor, and second is Bernard-Soulier syndrome. So defective RIPA, it is a very important scenario which is given in the problem-based question. So whenever there is defective RIPA given, we should think about the two disease, Bernard-Soulier and von Willebrand disease. Next, since it is a coagulation disorder also, APTT will be prolonged because factor 8, it is a part of the intrinsic pathway of coagulation. So APTT will be prolonged while PT will be normal because all these factors are intact. So prothrombin time will be normal. So these are the important lab investigation which will be seen in case of von Willebrand factor. And in the treatment, we give cryoprecipitate as a source of factor 8 and desmopressin that will cause increased release of von Willebrand factor in the body. So these two are the options for treatment. Lastly, two terms that you should know. One is platelet type or pseudo von Willebrand disease. So this is pseudo von Willebrand disease because there is a structural defect in the glycoprotein 1b, and there is no defect in von Willebrand factor, defect in glycoprotein 1b, and that causes the increased affinity of glycoprotein 1b for the von Willebrand factor. So this disease is similar to the 2b variant of the von Willebrand disease, but here the problem is with the glycoprotein 1b, and again in this there is increased affinity between the two, so that will cause increased adhesion between of the platelets, and that will cause increased platelet aggregation leading to thrombocytopenia. So the platelets are basically, they are hyper responsive, and they are increasingly they are adhered to the von Willebrand factor, and that will lead to the thrombocytopenia. It is similar to the 2b variant of von Willebrand disease. In both of these diseases, this increased affinity is there. Second is acquired von Willebrand disease. Sometimes, mostly it is inherited, but sometimes antibodies can be seen against the von Willebrand factor in conditions like myeloproliferative disorders, lymphoproliferative disorders, monoclonal gammopathies. So these are the conditions of acquired von Willebrand disease. So let's take a look at a few questions. So two questions are there. First, 23-year-old woman had a history of bleeding problem all her life, primarily heavy menstruation and bleeding gums. So she's having a problem of bleeding. And sister and an uncle also have bleeding problems. So a female member of her family and a male member, both they have bleeding problems. So basically this disease is not linked to the X chromosome, it is not X-linked. Physical examination shows several bruises ranging in color from red to blue to purple on her arms and legs. There is no organomegaly, no deformity are noted. So no deformity they are seen in hemophilia, so it is not noted. And laboratory studies show hemoglobin is decreased, possibly because of the bleeding in the patient. Hematocrit will be decreased. Then platelet count is 2,29,000, so it is normal. More than 1.5 lakh platelet count is normal. So PC is normal. WBC count is again normal, 7185. Prothrombin time is 12 seconds, again it is normal. PTT is 38 seconds, so again it is normal. A 1:1 dilution of the patient plasma with normal pooled plasma correct the partial thromboplastin time. So partial thromboplastin time is again, I think in this question the wrong value is given, because normally about up to 45 seconds the PTT is normal. So they have given that PTT is corrected with the dilution of patient plasma with normal pooled plasma. So basically here the time should be more. And then they have given that with dilution studies or mixing studies the PTT is improving. That means that there is a factor deficiency. Then ristocetin dependent platelet aggregation in plasma is markedly reduced. So again they have given that ristocetin induced platelet aggregation, RIPA, it is abnormal. So two diseases come in our mind. First is von Willebrand factor and second is Bernard-Soulier syndrome. So here the supporting evidence is in favor of the von Willebrand disease, because there is here they have given that PTT is increased and it is corrected with the mixing studies, and also that the disease is present in the family. So two more relatives they are affected, and platelet count is normal. So it comes more in favor of von Willebrand disease. So which of the following responses should the physician use when advising the patient of potential consequences of this disease? So you might need allogenic bone marrow transplantation. No, this is not the treatment option for von Willebrand disease. Expect increasing difficulty with joint mobility. So generally joint problems they are not seen in von Willebrand disease, because the factor A deficiency is not that severe as in hemophilia. Then anticoagulation is needed to prevent DVT. So there is not increased risk of DVT in von Willebrand disease. You could experience excessive bleeding after oral surgery. This is true, because it manifests with the bleeding tendencies, and bleeding after minor trauma is common in this von Willebrand disease. So after oral surgery, after some trauma, bleeding can be seen. So D option is correct. Lastly, splenectomy might be necessary to control the disease. So splenectomy is not a treatment option for this bleeding disease. It is generally done in the relapse and refractory cases of chronic ITP. So the answer will be D. So the explanation that they have given. Next question, 20-year-old female present with excess menstrual bleeding. Again bleeding problem is there. She has a history of easy bruising and recurrent nosebleeds. Physical examination is unremarkable. No abnormalities of joints are found. Live examination revealed prolonged bleeding time and slightly prolonged PTT. So there is a BT is prolonged and PTT is also prolonged. So there is a problem of primary hemostasis as well as secondary hemostasis, which is seen in von Willebrand disease. Then quantitative levels of factor 8 and von Willebrand factor both are decreased. So they have given the diagnosis also. Her platelet count is normal and her platelets are normal in appearance. So as expected in the von Willebrand disease, platelet count is normal. Which of the following lab finding is most likely to be present in this individual? So first is decreased platelet response to ristocetin. So this is true because the RIPA is defective in von Willebrand disease. So second, decreased fibrin precipitation with protamine sulfate. Then increased D dimer amounts in the serum. This is wrong because in von Willebrand disease there is no increased coagulation, so there is no increased D dimer. The increased D dimer is seen in DIC. Increased fibrin incorporation into ethanol, gelatin, no. And increased platelet aggregation with collagen. So no. So there is the answer will be A, which is decreased platelet response to ristocetin. That is defective ristocetin induced platelet aggregation. So these are the questions that are asked in relation to von Willebrand factors. So thank you for watching, and any question you want to ask you can post in the comment section. Thank you so much.